Warning! This video contains extruded snacks.
Let's fight the algorithm!
Hello everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Brosmind TV. Hello everybody, yes, your favorite brothers are here with a new episode of Brosmind TV. Today we're talking about this great product that just got released in some stores around Spain. Where? Not really sure. By the way, this is not a sponsor by anyone. This is being produced by Facundo. This is new snack, and we actually did the characters that are on it. We got a commission from this studio from Barcelona, our friends from Mucho. Thank you for Mucho for thinking about us. And yes, so remember, not a sponsorship at all. We're doing it because we want, and because for the first time, I think, we want to walk through the process.
Yes.
Because many of you ask, oh, you do all those illustrations, but sometimes you don't really know who our clients are. So this is a great product to go through and understand the process. Okay. So
let's go.
So this company Mucho said, hey, we want to work with you because you know how to do characters and you have this video. Back in the day, we did those two little snacks, rounded ones. We put them, attach them to an olive, and it kind of simulate a perfect tea fighter. So thanks to that video, we are here today. Yes. And we want to walk through the process, because sometimes when you go to a store, you see a product, you don't really value the effort that is behind it, you know? So this project has been, we are just a small part of the project, creating the characters.
Yeah, because they take Mucho take care of the branding, no, and all the graphic design. We just provide them the characters, but it's a
still complex business, because we usually do thing, like more niche things, small audience. But when you work in a mainstream product, there is all these layers and stuff. So first, when we got the call, we got the brief and everything. First thing you gotta do when you work with a big company, you drop more ideas than just only one, right? So we proposed them 3 options. Number 1, it was based on the little windows you have on those type of packagings where you can actually see through the actual product. So we thought, why instead creating an actual character based on the shape of the product, why don't we take that window and make a little character and it represents that fill up with the actual product. So option number 2, it was a strictly point on the briefing, I think. They wanted to create some sort of characters.
More directed to the target, which is the young people. Okay.
Like us, brother?
Yeah. Almost, or sons, you know?
Yeah, where there's a big gap between us and the audience.
Or kids, yeah.
But anyway, so we created this, the family of these 3 characters. They are super cool, right, brother? Because we know how cool is, you know, how cool looks.
Yeah. And, you know, there was just like a bunch of or 3 friends, no? Really cool with urban clothes and carrying their mobile devices. And, you know, we're even suggesting to use the graphics that they usually use in the socials, no?
Yeah, exactly. Like when you get like a message, you know, like a message app or something, if you see on the back of the packaging, we were proposing maybe all the info can go or be represented with this type of language. And we love it, you know, how to draw the sneakers, the clothes, the things that hangs on the clothes. That's a very entertaining process for us, you know, when you create a character, all those little details that kind of build the character are super interesting.
Yeah, so
and then
we were really cool. And the last one was, we just bring it to our, a nuestro terreno, no? We really love, you know, as you know, this Kaiju Eiga universe or aesthetics. Ultraman and all that, you know.
Power Rangers, Bioman.
Yeah, we love all that, and we wanted just to create a proposal based on that. And we did those 3 characters. Who
still, you know, it still has to be some sort of family or a gang of people, because usually when you eat this product, you are surrounded together with your friends.
It was very fun. They were using the snacks like big weapons. They were flying on them, you know, and we were imagining a super giant robot at the end, you know. And we even proposed to put some comic in the packaging, no, to tell the story more in depth.
Because the whole concept behind, I think maybe we didn't say it, but the whole concept behind the whole campaign was eat and fun or eat and play.
eat and play.
Yes. So the whole thing, so that's why all these kind of playful characters and interacting with the snacks, in this third option was very straightforward, they were using the snacks to fly around, to build stuff, there's even a big mecha that is built up with those snacks, So we presented to the client, well, to mucho people, and then they were like in between with the client and adding all their thoughts and idea on the packaging.
Yeah.
They came back to us and said, okay, we like the option number 2 with the trendy kits, and then we also like this more fantasy option, but maybe we should mass it up, we need to make something in common, because maybe now the young generation, they are not that connected with Power Rangers and stuff like that.
Probably they don't know who Ultraman is.
Yeah, exactly. But we also need to have some sort of characters that they feel themselves that they are connected to that. So we mass it up, and we came up with this kind of group of superheroes.
Yeah.
And they are all dressed in these super cool clothes.
Yeah, and once we have this idea clear, we're starting, evolving those characters, making more poses, sketches. Finally,
and it's a process. Remember, this is for the big public, right? So in this process, apart from going through the agency, the client, back and forth, you also have to go through a group of people who are going to test the product. Not only in terms of flavor and taste and everything, they go through the packaging and they analyze everything and they say, okay, this character may remind me this type of thing, so maybe this kind of stepping me out from the product because we don't feel connected. So when you see this on the stores, they are just not snacks, they're actually products that you can interact with, not only with your friends and everything, so there are little stories and everything. And now, let's give it a try, no? We never tried them before, so we actually create the characters without tasting the product. Delicious. Very good. Remember, this is not being sponsored. We are doing it because we are happy, For us, it's very important when you do an illustration on a project that it's part of something else, not just something that appears on a newspaper or on a website or on Instagram and stuff like that just vanishes and dies. This, at some point, someone eventually is going to pick it up on themselves and is going to have some sort of impact on them. They're going to remember that moment, They're going to share it with people. So we couldn't be happier. Thank you very much. See you next week, everybody.